So at first glance, this might seem a little bit intimidating, but I'm going to walk you through this chart. It's a chart by Marketing Sherpa, and it's based upon a survey of more than 2,700 marketers, and they identified the top used list growth tactics relative to their effectiveness and level of difficulty. The vertical axis rates effectiveness, the horizontal axis describes the difficulty of the tactic, and the size of the red circles indicates the popularity of the tactic. Again, we came up with 10 that stuck out for us by comparing what has worked for our clients and things that we've seen work for other people. With this foundation, let's look at 10 opportunities for list growth. List growth opportunity 1 is collect subscribers at purchase and account sign-up. So based upon the previous graph we saw, you'll notice that this is the most effective tactic. And here we're looking at a page from Designer Imports, who is an online retailer of designer goods. And this individual is actually purchasing some sunglasses. And then in step 5, when they're entering their payment information, they have a checkbox asking customers if they would like to receive exclusive sales and offers. So this is a great example of a time to ask for subscriber information during purchase and account sign-up. Here are additional examples of using online checkout to grow your list. These are 2 companies you're probably familiar with. On the left here, we have Victoria's Secret, and you can see that they don't offer a checkbox if customers want to receive information from them. They assume that the email address customers provide for package tracking purposes is the email in which they want to receive promotions, and if they even want to receive promotions in general. So what if the customer doesn't want to receive information? This is a questionable practice that we do not recommend. On the right is an example from Nordstrom. Nordstrom holds themselves to a high level of customer service. I love Nordstrom because I can call their 800 number and a live representative answers the call immediately. I mean, that's something you don't always have. So as you can see, Nordstrom asks if customers would like to receive updates on the latest trends and products in the future. They affirm customer privacy, and they also inform customers that information and preferences can be easily updated on their account page. Another thing to note here is if a customer decides not to purchase an item but check that box, technically Nordstrom could target the customer for abandoning their cart and still send them latest trends to get them back in the store or back online. So the point is to try and get the opt-in as early in the checkout process as possible, or when you're asking for shipping information. So in-store and on-site work very much the same. You can do it the old-fashioned way with a fishbowl, or you can use something a little more recent like the QR code at checkout. But you can also use an integrated point-of-sale system or lobby kiosks. And you'll often see kiosks in museums or information centers. There are a few things to consider when asking for customers' email. Make sure your employees are following the opt-in rules. Everything I talked about prior to this point still applies. And so does being persuasive. So train your staff on how to ask for that email address. A company that does a great job asking for email addresses in person is, once again, Nordstrom. Nordstrom employees do receive commission on sales, so they have an incentive to ask for customer email addresses. But I do know that Nordstrom employees are trained on how to ask, how to not come across as pushy, and they inform the customers that when they ask for the email, they're going to send them invites to events, special sales, and they might even send you an email notifying you that something arrived in the store that the customer might like. So a lot of companies are asking for email addresses during purchase, but make sure you're auditing the process and make sure your employees understand the importance of customer email addresses, even if they don't have a direct incentive for gathering this type of information. Here's a campaign by the National Museum at Duke University. Just to give you a little history, the museum holds a family day, and on that day, sign-ups they get from the gallery information kiosks are used as contacts for this campaign you're seeing right here. When they do this campaign, which is fairly regularly, the most clicked link is buy membership. Remember, your list growth is vital to your business model, and it's not necessarily list growth, but a benefit of list growth. List growth opportunity 2 is provide a link to your subscription center or sign-up form on all corporate publications and collateral. Whatever your organization is, you have publications and collateral. The point is, these are all touch points with your customer. And it's important not to have a long URL because these people aren't online. The URL isn't clickable. So they're going to have to take the time to type out contactology.com/newsletter. If you want to avoid using a URL, you can, again, replace it with a QR code. List growth opportunity 3 is forward to a friend. Red Tricycle, as we saw earlier, is an awesome company who finds opportunities for children and parents to connect. 90% of their subscribers are moms, and as Jackie, their CEO, told us, moms often share information among their friends. So for Red Tricycle, the best way to get a new subscriber is to get an existing subscriber to forward to someone they know. This won't work for every organization, but give it a try. If you do, include a forward link and use your ESP's forward feature if they have that, because you can measure how it's going and whether it's working. And then you can also use that data to give prizes or incentives for forwards. List growth opportunity 4 is customer service or support calls. Again, this is a touch point with your audience. Same as always, make sure you're following the rules for opt-in. If your company sends follow-up emails after a support or customer service call, include the link. Put it right there in the signature. Very easy to implement. You can even pitch the value of your email newsletter or email list while your customer is on hold if you have a recorded message. Who knows? Maybe the question they're asking would have been answered in the newsletter you sent them a week ago. And obviously, you don't want to annoy an already frustrated caller, so remember, the priority is to help the customer. If people are calling, they are already engaged. So Explore Minnesota uses this tactic, and they use it successfully. It doesn't necessarily lead to high numbers, but it captures people when they are very engaged.